Hello everybody, I'm Claire Cortis, Digital Knowledge and Information Manager here at the Energy Institute, and today I'll be demonstrating how to access the Energy Institute's knowledge and information resources. So you can see that we're on the main Energy Institute website, and to access our knowledge resources you just need to go onto the Exploring Energy tab and then select Knowledge Resources here. And this will open up this web page. And here you can explore a large and diverse collection of energy information. The first thing you want to make sure that you do is log in the top right-hand corner, and that will give you all of your member benefits. For example, access to our eLibrary and all of the content in New Energy World magazine. Here you can see we have a number of featured items on the home page, and these are updated regularly to showcase our newest content. So how do we search all of our resources? Well, one way to do that is to use the search box here. So I'm going to put in a search for energy management. And you can see we have a list of suggested terms here. I'm just going to select the top one, and it's going to run a search across all of our resources for energy management, and this includes our online resources as well as our hard copy resources available in our physical library. You can see at the top here we have an EI recommended guide, which is our energy and carbon management guide, and I'll come on to those guides in a moment. But you can see that we have thousands of results that have come up here, all to do with energy management. And you can refine these results by date, subject type, content type, and availability, so whether they're available online or in the library. You can also do a more advanced, narrower search. So, for example, if you knew the title of a book that you'd like to find in our library, so I have an example of Charging Forward. You can type that in there. And you can see that it's the first result that's returned here. If you expand the More Details tab, you can see that it's available in the library and it's also a book. If you click on here, you can see the full record of the item, and that will give you all the details you need to locate it in the library. So you see we have the title here, the subtitle, the authors, a small synopsis of the book, and then the details, for example, a physical description, the ISBN and the classification, so you can locate that in the library there. Another way to browse through our information resources is to go to our collections. And our collections house information curated by the EI Knowledge team. And there are some energy essentials guides in here. So those cover energy and carbon management, hydrogen, shale gas, and the transition to net zero. And they aim to explain energy topics in an accurate, concise, and accessible format. And they're intended to promote greater understanding of energy and are suitable for students, professionals, and those whose work crosses over into the energy sector, or really anybody who has an interest in energy. So our latest one that's been updated is our hydrogen guide. So I'll show you an example of what that looks like. So here we have the Energy Essentials, the Guide to Hydrogen, and this is a second edition that was launched in February this year. And you can see that it's in an accessible format, so you just need to expand these boxes and you can read all about that particular section. At the bottom here we have additional information, so we have a link to the other titles in the series, and then we have references which were used to help compile the Energy Essentials guides. So going back to our collections, there are a couple of more that I want to show you. We have our Energy Insights collection. And our latest series in this collection is the A to Z of the energy transition. And that series will run throughout 2025 with a new edition posted every 2 weeks. And they're written by the Energy Institute's Chief Executive, Nick Wave. All the views in there are expressed are his own and not those of the Energy Institute. And they are originally posted on his LinkedIn profile. So I'll show you an example of one of those articles here. So the latest one was I is for investment, infrastructure and insurance. And you can see we have the previous ones as we scroll down. And again, you can see that this one was written by a guest writer, Rachel Bravard. And you can just scroll down and read through the document there. And I just want to show you another one of our collections, and that's our Fusion Energy collection. And this is a guide called Fusion Energy 101, a game changer for future energy supply. And this was developed by the UK Atomic Energy Authority and Energy Institute in collaboration with members of the Sustainable Market Initiative's Fusion Task Force. And the guide explores the groundbreaking potential of fusion energy and its importance for the future of global energy supply. So you can just click on that there and that will download the PDF report for you. So moving on to our library services, our eLibrary is one of our biggest member benefits. It gives you access to thousands of academic articles and full text journals, as well as eBooks. So you can see we have records on energy and the environment via EBSCO Environment Complete, full text journals covering energy and the power industry via EBSCO Energy and Power Source, over 500 full text journals covering all aspects of sustainability via the Sustainability Reference Centre, as well as teaching aids and over 270 full text ebooks. You can discover the latest titles of our ebooks here. And to access the eLibrary, once you have logged in that top right hand corner, you'll see this button appear. You can just click on that there. And I'm going to run a search here to demonstrate eLibrary. I'm just going to type in just energy transition. You can see we get over 2,000 results there. And the first few are peer-reviewed academic journal articles. Now you can filter these by full text, peer-reviewed. You can select from what date range you want to view the articles from, and also the source type, so if they're academic journal articles, magazines, reports. If you know more details, such as the title or author, you can also do an advanced search here. You can select how many items that you want to show on the page, and you can also sort by relevance or date. You can also save the search that you've just run, or also create an alert, which you can set up as an email, which will tell you new results that have been added to that search. We have a number of really nice tools over here, so you can save this item, and that will then save over here into your dashboard in your saved items collection. You can also use these tools so you can cite the journal article. So for example, if you're using this in a piece of research, you can select the style that you want your citation to be in and also export that there. You can add this to a project. So I'm going to click energy transition, and you can add that now there, and that will go into your projects over here. You can also share the item via these methods, and you can also email it to someone there. And you can also download the item there. See, we have a number of access options, so you can download it as a PDF or read it as an online full text, which I'll demonstrate to you here. So you can see we have the table of contents, and you can just click through that and it will skip to the relevant section that you want to read. You can also listen to parts of the article, and you can also translate the item, as well as using these tools here, such as printing, downloading, sharing, etc. So we have our dashboard here, so you can see your projects, and you just need to make sure that you're logged into your My EBSCO account up here to view these. So you can see I have the energy transition project there, and you can save items beneath that. You can see our saved records, so I just saved that one there. You can look at our recent activity, so you can see that I've just run a search on just energy transition, and any alerts that you've set up you can view there. We also have a number of research tools, so we've got our publication finder. So this searches all the publications that are available in our eLibrary. So for example, if I wanted to look up energy, sustainability and society, we can see that there, and it gives us information about the journal. We can see it's part of our Sustainability Reference Centre collection that we have access to. Another really neat research tool is our concept map. So I'm going to type in a new search here for nuclear power and select that there. It's going to give us an overview of what that topic's about. And then it's going to give us a grid format about what different topics are related to that. But what I really like is the map version. So this shows you areas of study that you might not have already thought about that are connected to nuclear power. So for example, we have nuclear safety here, so we could click on that. It gives us a brief overview of that topic, and we can click on here to explore that concept, or we can add it to our search. So I'm going to add that to our search, and you can do this as many times as you like, and then you can see your full results here. So now it's going to run a search for nuclear safety, and we see we get all those results up there. So just going back to our home page on the eLibrary, we also have our ebook collection. So you have our 274 full text ebooks here. If you want to search for a particular topic, you can just type that in after the text there. So we'll search for offshore wind. And you can see that we get 11 results there. Again, we have our number of access options, whether to download it's a PDF full text or read it online. Some of these are available to download for and borrow for a number of days, and it will give you that access option there. And most of them you're allowed to download a set number of pages, and it'll tell you that when you click download. So our eLibrary is one of our prime member benefits, and it is really worth taking a look in there if you'd like to know all about the latest in energy research. So going back to our Energy Institute Knowledge Resources pages, we also have our London Library. So our library is beautiful, and it's located in the heart of London. You can book an appointment to have a quiet, inspirational place for research. And we have a librarian on hand to help with any research inquiries. And it contains a wealth of physical resources that members can use to inform themselves as the world moves forward to a just global energy transition. We have a number of items ranging from oil and gas to renewables. We have our library as well as our archive, and that's an invaluable resource that features historical publications dating back to 1819. The opening hours are Mondays to Thursdays, 9 till 4, and you do just need to contact us and book an appointment to visit. There are a number of facilities, as I've mentioned, physical copies of periodicals in energy, oil and gas, EI publications, including best practice standards and reports, our archive room and resources. You can photocopy, print and scan. We have free Wi-Fi access, and we can help with any research inquiries that you have as well. So we do have our contact details there, so please do contact us if you'd like to come and use our physical library in London. Moving on, we have our energy barometer, and this is our annual report that captures and represents the views and opinions of energy professionals from across our membership. Last year was the 10th edition of the report, and it reflected on the performance of the UK energy sector and policy over the past decade, whilst also presenting a view and prospects for and opinions of the new Parliament. And you can download and read the full report there. You can see where it's been featured in news items. You can listen to a bit more about the project there. And we also have our archive of previous energy barometers. So you can download the reports, and if you want to do a deeper dive into the data, you can download the data spreadsheets as well. Moving on to our energy policy tab. We respond to a number of consultations, and these are all listed here. And the EI also organises a series of events each year to debate topical issues in energy policy. And they're called energy policy debates. And to see when they are, you can look at our events schedule there. Moving on to another prime member benefit, our new Energy World magazine. So this is the Energy Institute's online magazine, and it embraces the whole energy industry as it connects and converges to address the decarbonisation challenge. New content is posted every Wednesday on here. So as we scroll down, we can see we have a number of feature items, and these are exclusive to members. Then we have news items, followed by comment pieces here. And we have quarterly omnibus editions that are available to download digitally to all members of the Energy Institute. If you want to carry out a search purely in New Energy World magazine, you can click on this here, and we can run a search on electric vehicles, for example. Again, we're going to have a number of suggested terms there. And you can see the results that we get here, all about electric vehicles. And again, you can refine these by particular subjects there, and also sort by the date. But you can see we have a variety of comment, news and feature pieces there. So going back to the main Energy Institute website, there are a couple more resources I just want to show you. So we do have the Statistical Review of World Energy. And this analyses data on world energy markets from the prior year. It was previously produced by BP, and it has been providing timely, comprehensive and objective data to the energy community since 1952. And this is available to anybody to download here. And we do this in collaboration with KPMG, Carney, and the data compilation is by Heriot-Watt University. So there are a number of insights by source if you just want to get a quick highlight and an overview. So 2023 was a year of production and consumption records across the board, with most markets returning to at least their 2019 pre-COVID long-term trends as supply chain issues finally eased. And we have the key highlights here on energy developments, carbon emissions, oil, natural gas, coal, electricity, wind and solar, biofuels and key minerals. We also have our country transition tracker. So this annually assesses progress across a range of energy sector indicators, and highlights those nations that are most advanced in decarbonising their energy systems. So we can see here as we scroll down that we have a number of graphs that track this progress. So for example, we have that on energy related greenhouse gas emissions. So you can see here the countries with the top 10 decreases in CO2 equivalent energy related emissions, and also those with the top 10 increases in CO2 equivalent energy related emissions. As we scroll down, we also have those graphs on fossil fuel consumption, renewable energy consumption, power sector decarbonisation, carbon intensity, total energy consumption per capita, economy-wide primary energy intensity, economy-wide carbon intensity, and then we have the methodology and underlying data at the bottom there. Also have our energy charting tool, which allows you to create graphs and do a deeper dive into the data from the statistical review. So I'll just do an example. So we'll launch the energy charting tool here. And for example, we could pick from this list here. So I'm just going to pick oil, and I'm going to pick production here. And then you can select the location, and I'm just going to pick Europe. And I'm just going to do a regional total. And you can view your chart here. So here we have the chart that it's created. You can select what type of chart you want to view, whether it be an area chart, line chart, bar chart, or stat chart. You can also look at the table of results here. You can also export the data as a graph, a CSV, or an Excel file. You can hone in on particular dates on the graph by sliding this across. And you can do some quick calculations as well. So for example, year-on-year deltas and cumulative percentage growth. You can filter and customize your report on this side here. So if I go on to edit report, I could also pick here refining and look at capacity here and add that to our chart as well. And we get 2 lines on our chart. There are also a number of featured reports. So these have already been created for you. So for example, if we wanted to look at biofuel production by region, we can click on that and it's going to present you with that chart there. All of the resources and data downloads can be selected from this tab here. So you can download the PDF edition of the statistical review and also the Excel data. We do have an English and a Chinese version. So this allows you to do any analysis and deeper dive into the data there. Finally, I just want to show you our collection of YouTube videos. And this contains our webinars from whole conferences to technical guidance. And it really is worth browsing through these as well. So I hope that provided you with a good overview of our knowledge and information resources at the Energy Institute. If you do have any questions for us, please do contact us on knowledge@energyinst.org. Thank you for watching.